Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave. KD7ZYM, Western Washington Amateur Television Society, is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater, and it spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Google WW7ATS. That's WW7ATS. That will take you to our club's homepage. There you'll see the frequencies that we operate on and a little bit of information about our club. Also there you will find a link for streaming on YouTube, or nets that are held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for allowing us to use WW7STR repeater, known as the 08 machine, at 147.08, and we use a tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions during our nets. With that, I'll take a pause just in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Airing now, again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. So far checked in this evening via video link is Ron, KD7QKU, Jessica, KF7UHK, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, K7ITX, Jim, N7QO, James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else who would like to check into the net? Connected, K9PQ, KD7QKU, in Tacoma. N7KC. Try again for Ron, KD7QKU. Dave, I was out of the room for a second. KD7ZYM in the group, KD7QKU in Tacoma. So good evening all. Nice to see you guys, ladies, gentlemen. Well, let's see, I'm just trying to think back of what happened today. Not a whole lot. It was not very sunny here, mostly cloudy. Didn't rain. I put my fucking mailbox up, and I put the bolts in from the bottom, and I put the nuts on the inside, and so there's nuts and pieces of bolts sticking up on the inside. And Joanne got a big brown, in those manila envelopes, and when the mailman stuck it in, it hit one of those bolts, and didn't want to lay down flat. And I think he had trouble. I don't even know if it was completely in the door. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to put something in the bottom of it so that the mail will slide rather than hang up on the bolts. We don't normally get pieces of mail like that. When we get the advertisement things, they'll kind of crunch up. But this was a manila envelope that wouldn't crunch up, so I don't know. I was thinking if I had a piece of formica or something I could put in the bottom of it, on top of the bolts, and then it would be like the smooth stainless steel bottom that it used to have. So that's a little problem I guess I'm going to have to. Maybe I was also thinking I could go down to the store, the hardware store, and just get one of maybe one of those plastic for sale signs or something. out there and I think take the bolt cutter and cut them all off just above the nuts. They might be different lengths. Anyway, get them all the same length, and then lay something on top so the mail will slide in easier. So that was what I was thinking. I just changed the bulb, and we have a light in the living room that's on a timer, so it comes on about dark. And I don't know, it goes off at 11. Well, Joanne noticed last night it was off, so sure enough, the bulb had burned out. So I just replaced the bulb. So that's haven't been doing much here. So back to net, KD7QKU. KD7QKU, thanks for that. And that takes to Jessica, KF7UHK.
Jessica up here in Everett, where it's 59 degrees. Says it's perfectly sunny. It's been pretty much raining all day long, though. So let's see, I did some laundry, made some meatloaf today. We went to a place called Total Wines and More. If you like to go look at alcohol and a big variety, it's a neat place to go. I brought home a bottle of butter shots, which I like, from De Gupter. It tastes like butterscotch schnapps. Tastes like butterscotch. You can put it in your hot chocolate, or you can put it in your ice cream, or you can drink it straight. You know, but it's something you can't really get drunk on because it's just so sweet. It's so stickingly sweet, but I like it. That's why I like it. And then the other thing I got was this bottle of something which I can't pronounce the name of it, but it's like white chocolate and strawberry flavor. So it really just tastes like strawberry flavor, and it's almost clumpy as it comes out of the bottle. It's really tasty too. But you once again, you can't really get drunk on this stuff because it's so stickingly sweet. But it's really good. It was under recommendation from someone at the store. But the store has it has your spirits, and it has your wines, and it has beers and other things too. And the prices are not bad for what prices are going on these days. So that was kind of fun. So with that, I'm gonna pass it back to KF7UHK.
UHK. Well, let's go to Port Angeles to Lee, N7KC, and see how Echo Lake treats us tonight.
Okay, very good. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Well, I see Bob's on Echo Link tonight too. Yeah. And anyway, it's working good. Okay. Lee in Port Angeles, N7KC, if I didn't say that. Good evening, everybody. Good to see Covington Jim has got his computer with a camera tonight. Ron, mailbox bolts, doggone it. You know, we've got a locking mailbox here, and it's on a steel post, which I put in concrete. And then it has a plate at the top of it that's a subplate, and the mailbox slides over that and locks. So there's nothing on the bottom of it that shows. And the way the mail goes in ours is the mailman pulls down an opening at the very top, it slides in and goes to the bottom. It falls to the bottom. And I don't know. I was trying to figure how yours worked. If there was a slot in the door that you opened that door to get your mail, because it sounds like that's the way yours works. Yeah. And Jessica, gotta ask, did you get a chance to look at the road to Wellville? And okay. And then we saw another one, Jessica, which I think you would probably enjoy. It's called The Kids Are All Right. That's ALL. And then space RIGHT. The Kids Are All Right. Anyway, I think you would enjoy that. That was very interesting. We didn't know how it was going to come out at the end. It was really, really something. Anyway, so I don't have a whole lot more, except that we're only, a day or two from the solstice. Can you believe? My gosh, and the weather hasn't really perked up here. You know, it's been on the chilly side and cloudy and wet for a long time, for several years now. This is the first time we've had a green lawn. It looks good. Anyway, it's kind of fun. The trees have been messy, and I've done a lot of raking because we've had some wind too, but not serious wind, just nuisance wind. So with that, I'm done for this round. This is N7KC. I'm Lee in Port Angeles. Thank you, Dave.
KC, and it's time to ID again for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ. Audio from you, Bob. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, let's try it now. It didn't seem to take before. Is this working? Okay. Yeah, I didn't wait to see the big giant microphone show up on my phone, which Lee might recognize that. That's how it works on my phone, at least when I'm actually transmitting. There's a huge, the entire display is replaced by a giant image of a microphone. So yeah, I was out at Gaming in the Woods last weekend. I had a great time, had the trailer out, and it was cool and rainy, but you know what? We had a fair amount of sunshine midday on both Saturday and Sunday, which was a bonus. I didn't expect any, frankly. And I expected a bit of gaming in the trailer. Saturday I set up my trailer, which required breaking down my bed and converting the bed to a tabletop and bench seats. And we only played one game in there because it was too nice otherwise, and so I didn't even bother on Sunday. But had a good time out there. I left Friday and came back on Monday, so that was good. And then the big topic last time I was on, you might remember, was my two toilets, which I had problems with both. Well, I had got an email. I exchanged emails with the manager and the woman down in the downstairs unit. Her daughter-in-law, actually, who's sort of handling the work. And the last email exchange, my understanding was I just needed to not use the one toilet that was leaking and dripping down into their unit, which I did. I stopped using that, and the other one had problems as well that I was managing, and I was like, okay, I'll get around to this. Well, just literally within minutes of when I was going to drive away to go on my trip, I was outdoors and getting last minute things ready, and my neighbor came by walking her dog and said, so how are the repairs going? And I said, what? She apparently, her interpretation of all of this was that she was going to wait till my repairs were complete before she started fixing her own unit. So, a couple of weeks had gone by, and she was like, okay, what's going on? I want to get on fixing my unit. So once I realized that she was waiting for me, I told her I was going on this trip. I got on when I came back, and after going around a few different options, I finally decided just to buy two new toilets, which I did, had them installed by plumbers, and they did a great job. They really surprised me, in fact. Based on other people coming out to work, they said, oh, well, we'll try to be there between noon and 2. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll be lucky if they come out at all on the same day, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They came out at 10 in the morning, and they were done by just after noon, and did a great job, very professional, and so that was a surprise. And so that chapter is closed, thank goodness. So things are back to normal up here where I live. And so with that, I think that's good enough for now. I'll send it back. Hopefully I haven't timed out.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Bob. Boy, what a job you have with two toilets. Well, let's see if we can pick up Richard, K7ITX in Portland. Try again for K7ITX in Portland. Possibility that he's not available audio-wise. More time for Richard, K7ITX. Able to make a contact. This is KD7CYM. Let's go to Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Right as I turned on my radio, I heard Dick. It just kept repeating his call sign connected. Must have done that half a dozen times or so. So there's apparently some sort of problem with his connection. But anyway, we've got an idea on him there. And the 1.2 gigahertz, I was looking at a test pattern from the get-go. Now it's showing the interior of the repeater room. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but not a problem as far as I'm concerned. Well, Ron, thanks for calling me gentlemen. Unless you were calling me one of the ladies. But either way, thanks. It's a polite thing. And locking mailbox, it sounds to me like do you have like a crimp tool like this? Maybe this thing has a provision for putting different screws in here, number 4 through number 10 screws. Just put the screw in here and clip off to whatever length you need, rather than having to go and buy something, buy shorter screws or whatever. Hopefully that'll do the trick. And let's see, Jessica, let me reset. Jessica, thanks for mentioning that wine place. If you get a chance, could you check and see if they have a product? My wife and I used to get, I don't know, it must have been 20, 25, maybe 30 years ago, we used to get this wine, and we haven't seen it for sure for the last 20 years. It's a German wine called Kellergeister. It's a sparkling white wine, and I'll tell you what, we thought that it was just like champagne, except better than the expensive champagnes. So if you remember, check on that, please. Maybe we'll have to make a special trip there. Just a thought. Bob, glad you got your toilets fixed. I know it was an unexpected expense, an unexpected significant expense on your part. Sorry about that. Glad your neighbors below you did not get exceptionally riled on that, but all's well that ends well, I guess. It's good that you're good to go again. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
7QO. Let's go to Bellevue to James, WU7N.
Well, thank you, Dave. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Yeah, I put popped the picture up on the 1.2 gigahertz because apparently we don't have the switching going on from people using the Grand Stream boxes tonight. So just like there's somebody on YouTube, something to look at there. My computer seems to be in update hell right now, so I've been trying for 15 minutes to get logged on, and it's still it says it's 35% complete. Don't turn off your computer. Who's in charge here? Is it the computers or is it us? Speaking of which, I'm going to play for everybody tonight. I think everybody would enjoy Love, Death, Robots. Animation, definitely adult. But the first episode of the first season of Love, Death, Robots is very interesting. Got an interesting plot twist. Richard would like it. And next time we'll talk to him, I'll bring it up again. Let's see. The box bottom. Yes, Ron, you're on the right track. Your bottom of your mailbox has to be completely smooth, and what you put in there has to be completely stable. Otherwise, things won't slide in there, and the mailman doesn't have time for that. He's on a schedule. So not only your idea of getting like a plastic sign and putting it at the bottom or a piece of Tupperware or something, but you want to put 4 little gizmos on it so it's level and stable and it's the same size as the bottom of the box, so it won't slide around and snag up on stuff. So that's my suggestion on that. Jessica, yes, I love candy and all those candy liqueurs. Oh my goodness, dirt over ice cream, that's just wonderful. And let's see, the weather, yes, we have been having, I'm looking outside right now, looks like it's getting ready to rain again here, and it's already almost to the solstice. And, we've had very, very temperate, almost cool weather here, also up north there too. Bob, I just have to say it, I'm so glad you flushed out a solution. I mean, what did you expect me to say? I'm glad that it worked out so well for you, and sounds like all good news there. So that is really good. I'm still healing up a little, so I haven't had the guts, so to speak, to tear into my bathroom upstairs, which I definitely wanted to get done, at least tear it out. Maybe have to call someone else to put it all back together again. So that's kind of the long-term plan here. So let's see, I'm at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and if anybody wants me to switch the video repeater to something else, please let me know. This is James, Whiskey Uniform 7 November, WW7ATS, with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society in Northeast Bellevue. Take it away, Dave.
Thanks for that. And it's ID time again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the old 8 machine. This is Dave, KD7CYM. Well, I got 59 degrees overcast in Lake City. It looks like it could possibly rain. Who knows? Watched a good movie this afternoon, and it was about the Iraqi War and people coming back from that and adjusting their lives from the soldiers that were involved with that. It was pretty interesting and done in a very good method, I would say, as far as a presentation for a movie. And let's see, Ron with his mailbox, I would say piece of plastic at the bottom sounds good. Maybe you could even tape down a piece of large envelope over those bolts. That might take care of the problem. Or if you just even got some tape over the bolt, that would probably take care of that. And let's see, get down to Jessica for liqueurs. I don't know, I'm a fan of Bailey's, and it goes good in about everything, but it's a little higher in the alcohol content, I think, in some of the other liqueurs, but very nice. And Lee, looks like your lawn is going to grow and grow and grow with this weather being what it is. And I would say caution, next week I think there is sunshine coming up. So not only does it mean your grass will grow, it will really grow after being watered well. So be prepared for that. And Bob, I guess the real definition of a water closet is what you had over your neighbor's apartment. It did water from the closet anyway. So glad to hear that you got that taken care of. And apparently on your end there wasn't any dry rot or anything in the base of the leaking toilet, so that's good. There's no repair there. If everything is seated properly, you shouldn't have any more leaks. And Jim, wine that's better than champagne. I like that idea. And so that'd be pretty good. And James with candy liqueurs, as the saying goes, candy's dandy, but liquor's quicker. So anyway, that's that old saying with that. And I got out for a chance for a walk in the neighborhood this afternoon. And also almost got into that same trap with my computer wanting to restart. It's got an update that's happened with Microsoft 10, and it says restart now or wait till later, and the computer will restart itself. So I learned my lesson a couple of nets ago. When I hit the restart button, I couldn't get into the net for about 20 minutes. So the computer takes over doing its update. Caution with that. So that's about it here in Lake City. So now we'll move back up to the top to Ron, KD7 QKU.
Thank you, Dave. KD7 QKU here. Well, Jessica, to begin with, you had a picture of cars on a highway behind you. Was that a live picture from? No, it was a recorded picture. Okay. And a Jim in 7QO. Those are my bolts are 1/4 inch bolts. So I have a bolt cutter, so I'll go out and I'll cut them off right above the nuts, and then everything should be the same height. And then I have a piece of plywood I could actually probably cut and put in the bottom of the mailbox. So my mailbox, Lee, looks more or less like a regular mailbox. And it has a little top door that opens, and they put the mail in, and then they close that, and then down below is a big door that I open with a key to take the mail out. So the mailbox is a rectangular box, and it's horizontal, just like a regular mailbox, except, it's square. It doesn't have a round top. And let's see, we were talking about lawns. Remind me, today from Amazon I ordered a new fertilizer spreader, Scott's. I ordered a Whirlybird one that's on wheels that you push around, a small one, and it has what did it say? Anyway, it has a shield on one side, so if you go next to, say, your flowers or something, or the sidewalk, it won't throw fertilizer out on the sidewalk. I've been using the drop spreader for years. I've had a Scott drop spreader, and it's plastic, and it has holes in the bottom, and you pull the lever, and then as you walk along, and what happens is it gets wet. The fertilizer, it gets the grass sometimes is kind of wet or something. Anyway, it draws moisture or whatever, and those holes plug up all the time, and it doesn't leave a even path when you spread out the fertilizer. And I have to turn it upside down, hold the thing open, and take a wire brush and clean it out. I've been doing that for as long as I've had that fertilizer spreader, which I want to say 10 years, but I don't know, it might even be longer. So I was talking to the Jose that does my lawn, and he uses the other type, kind of for the same reason. It doesn't plug up, it doesn't come on the grass. I thought I'd try, and I got a small one. They make two sizes, and I got the smallest one. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Let's see. Yeah, Bob, I'm glad you got that fixed, and unlike Dave, I'm glad there wasn't any rot or anything. That's good. It doesn't sound like there was. It sounds like it was pretty clear. And let's see, I forgot what else. Jessica and her smooth stuff. They have everything's flavored now. And when it comes to alcohol, I'm telling you, everything's flavored. When I get together with my son and all his friends and everybody, the stuff that they have, my goodness sakes, it's unbelievable. I don't know if I don't buy it, so I don't know if it costs anymore, but it's either brown sugar or cinnamon or hot spices or something. It's just, and this I'm talking about whiskey. I'm not talking about wine or liqueur. It's just flavored whiskey. So anyway, so be it. I guess I don't drink much of it, so I just have the old-fashioned stuff like Kahlua and stuff like that here. So anyway, I
how I can see it without paying money, because I'm a cheapskate. So I am going to try to figure out how to watch that. Kids Are All Right. I think that's been around for a long time. I think the music is like by Rolling Stones. I have a feeling, but I'm not sure. But I think that's been around for a long time. Love, Death, and Robots from James. Haven't heard of it, but we watched a bunch of episodes of a show called This Flag Means Death, which was a pirate comedy, and it was really silly. It was really, really silly. I watched a bunch of episodes of that one day, one afternoon. And then today, we were binge watching a show off CBS called Ghosts, and you may have seen commercials for it if you watch anything that comes on CBS. And I think it's made in Canada. So we were binge watching a bunch of those episodes, and it's a cute show. It's a cute comedy. Let's see. But today did not do a lot other than the few things I've mentioned. It was just kind of slow down. Tomorrow we're going to Mount Vernon, which is what that video behind me here. That's actually showing what my front yard looked like after we leveled it out and reseeded it, and this is before the grass grew. Now it's all grassy. We just mowed it last week, and it's looking really good. So this is pre-grass. KM7 UHK.
UHK, thanks with that, Jessica. Let's go to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, I got the big microphone. I can talk. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Well, Bob single-handedly held up the economy. Wow, 2 toilets in one day. That's amazing. I'd be curious to know, Bob, when you get on, how many gallons per flush? Be curious about that. And if they work really well. And, yeah, Jessica, that The Kids Are All Right was a 2010 film, 2010, and so forth. And, yeah, we found it quite interesting. And, you know, a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday, I guess, when I turned the computer on, it said that I could have a free upgrade to Windows 11 if I just punched the button. And I thought about it a little bit, and I thought, well, maybe why not, you know? And this machine came with Windows 10 in it, and I've upgraded that once to the newest version of Windows 10 for home. And then so I had an opportunity to get 11. Well, okay, the thing ground its wheels for a long time, and then a retry button came up. Now this was overnight. This morning I woke up. So the computer said that it had identified my usage was from 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. and that that I had told it not to do anything to the machine until after hours, until after 11 p.m. So I guess I have to wait and see what happens now overnight if Windows 11 goes in. I don't know a darn thing about Windows 11, but I thought, well, it's free and it's from Microsoft, and it definitely is. There was no messing around there, so we're going to give that a try. And I'm down now, down to 40 seconds. I don't have anything else to say, Dave. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Back to you, Dave. Go ahead.
KC, thanks with that. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, I am back, and so one of the things you just reminded me of, asking me about the gallons per flush, is that the only complaint I have, I mean, these guys were great. These plumbers were great, but the only complaint I have is they didn't leave me any of the paperwork at all for the toilets. I have no idea what models they are. They're Kohler, so they sell 2 different kinds of toilets. There's standard, and then for $200 extra you get deluxe, and so I went with the deluxe Kohler name brand. The other one was some brand I've never heard of. They do work exceptionally well. They're the kind where if you just do a quick flush, it will not flush the entire tank, but if you hold down the lever, it will flush the entire tank. I do know what the law is now for flushes, calculator. Turns out it's 1.28 gallons per flush. And I have no idea where that came from, because I went, first thing I did was go to my calculator and say, okay, how many liters is that? Imperial gallons. What is this converting to? It doesn't convert evenly to anything that I found. But that's what they told me, 1.28 gallons per flush. And there was no subfloor damage at all. They said that the one that had caused this leaking, it was a very, very slow drip, so at least it wasn't like any massive leaking. But the wax seal, as you can imagine, and as I pretty much knew what it was the issue. But the interesting thing there is they said it was installed improperly, and that was more than 20 years ago. It was installed improperly, so it's a bit surprising it took this long to actually show up as a problem. I think it's because, I had switched to using that exclusively when it started having problems, and that's when it showed up. Anyway, enough toilet talk. Gaming in the woods was a lot of fun. It always is, but everyone's been talking about the weather, and it was cool and wet up there. I made good use of the heater in my trailer, which many summers I will not use it at all, because I go camping when it's nice warm weather. But it's propane heat, and the 12-volt deep cycle battery just runs the fan, so you're not heating from that, so it doesn't run down the battery. And it worked great, and it's a small trailer, so it doesn't take much to heat it up. And so I was living in luxury while everybody else was, in like 10 layers inside their tents and sleeping bags and everything, trying to stay warm. But always a fun time, good people, and we just play board games all weekend. I can't think of a whole lot else going on around here. I thought I had something else to report, but I can't remember. Just the last thing on the toilet, the subfloor. Yeah, when I mentioned it was like not completely solid, pretty much everybody that I talked to jumped to the same conclusion. Oh, subfloor damage. But it was
Timeout. WW7N. Okay, am I back with you again? You got me? Okay. That was weird. I don't know if I timed out, but it didn't just stop transmitting, it disconnected me. So anyway, no subfloor damage, they said, and so everything was good. They didn't have to tear up the tile or any other thing like that. That's why it was able to be so quick and relatively inexpensive. It was still expensive, but much less than it could have been, and much less hassle than it could have been as well. Okay, back to that. K9PQ.
9PQ, thanks for that. Let's go to Jim. N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Ron, some of the alcohols age well, but I've had some that did not age particularly well. I'm thinking in particular one bottle of wine that we had, and it just did not taste very good after a couple of years. I was not expecting that, but anyway, take a small taste if you've had something there for a number of years before you pour a full glass. Jessica, ghosts. Yeah, my wife enjoys watching ghosts as well. I'm usually doing something else whenever she's doing that. She's watching that, but she finds that very entertaining. It's good that there are some of these half-hour comedy shows. I think a lot of people enjoy it. Lee, Windows 11. My goodness, I don't know what the difference is, but my computer says that it will not do Windows 11. So my get me to either buy another computer, which I will not do, or to somehow upgrade this computer, which I will not do. I will keep this until it quits working. So, I don't know. Good luck. Let us know what it does there. And Bob, yeah, where do they come up with some of these numbers? 1.28 gallons is probably converted from something. Some other country probably devised it in X many liters, and they just rounded it to that particular number. That's my conjecture, but you have to wonder at times. And yeah, I was also wondering about after we heard stories about how bad the plumbing was at your condominium complex, the whole complex. It just seems to me like someone should have some liability on that. I wonder if when the place was plumbed, if it meets code, maybe the complex could take some sort of legal action or something. I guess it lasted 20 years. Well, I don't know. I had a water heater one day that had a 10-year warranty, and guess what? 10 years and 1 month it quit working. So I don't know, but good luck with that anyway. Glad you're good to go now. That's good. 87ZYM and 7QO.
Let's go James WU7N.
Connected N7KC.
Bob, I mean, it's so obvious. It's just so obvious. Anybody with a basic grasp of nonlinear differential equations, it actually comes out to 1.266666, but they just round it to 1.28. No, I have no idea either. But I put that link in there from toilethaven.com. I just had to put that. I mean, with a website name like that, you just have to put it in the comments. But they actually say that the first low water flush toilets just didn't work very well. So they just, had a seat and went back to the drawing board, so to speak. And I guess I kind of wonder if that's the best they could do, is 1.28. So then they went back to the federal government and said, hey, that's we should be able to do that. But you can still get a 1.6. But the article I just scanned it over says 1.28 might actually be better, because for all the reasons, and they list all the improvements that were made in toilet technology. It's actually pretty darn impressive. But that happens in the aviation industry a lot. The federal government will set a standard, a certain thing has to be a certain way, and then the aviation industry comes back and says, well, actually, we could do a little better than that, and so suddenly that becomes the new standard. At least until an airplane falls out of the sky, and then they go back to the old way. Hopefully, though, I think you've got a good deal with the 1.277777 gallons per flush there on that. Okay, so Dave, I took a walk today too. That is one thing I like about this weather. This is great weather to walk around and just heal up in, which I've been doing well. Tomorrow is the 1 month anniversary since my big appointment, and continuing to heal up. News you can use. Harbor Freight until tomorrow has a coupon out where you can get yet another free flashlight. Now this is kind of returning to normal for me, because before COVID, Harbor Freight would give away tons of free stuff just to get you to come into the store. And then during COVID, all that stopped. So I was kind of, that was a good thing to see that, yeah, they're giving away cheap free flashlights again. But the most amazing thing about the one I got, it has a thumbprint inside of where the LED is. So I'm going to assume that thumbprint came all the way from China. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Of course, I would never actually reveal, what that thumbprint is, or dust before the print and lift it, because, then the poor guy would probably be, dragged out to the parking lot and executed for lack of quality control or something. But I thought that was interesting, the thumbprint all the way from China inside of the lens. Let's see. Oh, and the last thing, I'm going to go ahead and reset here. I think I'm back. Dave, I'm very curious to see how Windows 11 goes for you, because of my 3 main computers I use all the time, one of them definitely keeps harassing me to say upgrade to Windows 11. You fool, you'll kill us all if you don't upgrade to Windows 11 now! it gets increasingly, obnoxious of how I should upgrade to Windows 11. And the computer I'm on now is an older laptop, and it's not as aggressive. I don't know if I can or not. And of course, my oldest computer is still on Windows 7, so it's obviously not going to do Windows 11. And my Raspberry Pi is in the Linux world, so it laughs at Windows every time you bring it up. It laughs in its little box. So I am curious, anybody that upgrades to Windows 11, did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you like or hate about it? And with that, let's see. I will turn back to Net Control. Dave, KD7ZYM. This is WW7ATS in Northeast Bellevue. Take it away.
7N, James, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Oh my, Windows 11, I thought that would be a nice upgrade to do. But apparently, I get this text that says that my machine is not available to do Windows 11. It needs another chip in the computer, and I have two relatively new computers, and both of them didn't qualify for the upgrade, especially the Microsoft Surface computer, which you would think would be in compliance with Microsoft 11, but it's not. So that failed. But it's very, very interesting. And Bob with a heater in his trailer, man, that is camping to the deluxe. I've always found the only thing I didn't like about camping was you got pretty chilled at night if you were in a tent or wherever you were. There was no heat available. The other thing is there a restroom available that you have to get out and go? If you're in a camping ground, it's like very uncomfortable because it seems like it's like 400 feet from wherever you're camping that you have to go to use the restroom. So there's always something with camping. I imagine pretty soon they'll come up with a solar-powered battery arrangement that you can have an electric blanket in your tent while you're sleeping at night for camping. Who knows? Oh my. And at least Bob got his toilets taken care of. That's really good. So that's about pretty much it. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City, and I suppose I get another ID in for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society on the 08 machine. So with that, we'll go back to the top to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, talk a little bit more about toilets, I guess. So, in our Bellevue home, when we built on a master bedroom and put a bathroom and walk-in closet in, I don't know how many, 30 years ago or so, that's when they were coming out with those real low-flow toilets, I think. It seemed like they were telling everybody to put bricks in your toilet or take a plastic milk jug or something and put it in your toilet or something. So we bought a low-flow toilet for that bathroom, and my wife hated it for all those years. So it wasn't too long before we decided to sell that we put in a new toilet, and it absolutely worked wonderful. And so when we sold the house and moved over here, she wanted to bring the toilet with her. She wanted me to take the toilet out of the house and put it in this house. And I said, whoa, let's see how the toilets work here. I don't know what kind of toilets they are, but I think they're comfort height, and they really work nice. So she finally said, okay, we can leave the toilet there. I thought you'd appreciate that story. Let's see. Jim, I had a bottle of port wine. Over in Prosser, there's a guy that makes port wine, and he's got quite a reputation. So some years ago, we were there, and I got 2 bottles. I bet it was 5 or 6 years ago. So I got a cheaper bottle, which was probably 10 or 12 bucks, and it was pretty good. And then he had an aged bottle that he wanted about 30 bucks for. And so both Tim and I bought one of those bottles apiece, and I had never drank mine. I had just kept it. And so Kim kept telling me that I was never going to drink mine, and he wanted to buy it. And I kept saying, no, I don't want to sell it to you. It's the kind of wine that you have to let it drop. Hand goes numb and I can't tell if I'm holding the microphone down or not. That reminded me, I had a haircut today. Joanne gave me a haircut because Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock I go in to have the surgery again on my right hand. I had it on my left hand, but now I'm having my right hand done, so I thought I should have a haircut before I went. Usually when Joanne does it, I trim around my ears myself, and if I had my hand I couldn't trim, well then I'd have to go for a week or two. So, and I needed a haircut, so I got a haircut today. And so today I was sitting out. We never hardly ever watch movies. I mean, I watch sports, and I don't know what Joanne watches. You know, we watch America's Got Talent or something. Joanne likes dancing or something. I don't know what. We kind of are in different rooms, and, you know, watching different things. So I set up. I have a TV on the patio there, so I was watching baseball games there. And I was sitting there. And we have this little propane fireplace, you know, in the motorhome that you set out when we go camping. Thinking, man, that'd be nice to put on the patio. But our patio is virtually enclosed. I mean, it's under the roof of the house, and it has windows on one side, and it's just open on one end, and the house, of course, is on the other side. So it wouldn't be a good place to put that little propane open flame fire pit. But then I was thinking, I have an electric heater that has an artificial flame in the front of it. And you can have the flame on, or you can have the, you know, or you don't have to have the flame on, and you can have the heater on, but most empty. So I'm thinking, holy smokes, it's sitting out in the garage. I'm going to get that thing, and I didn't, but I'm going to put it on the patio, and you can sit there, and you could have a little heat if you wanted, because it's kind of cool up. Or you could sit there, and you could look at the little artificial fire. You know, I don't know exactly how they do it, but it looks pretty good. So that's what I'm going to do. I got to get rid of my smoker, and I got to get rid of some other stuff, and I'm giving it away. The guy just hasn't come to get it. As soon as he comes to get it, I'll have more room. And then I can put a little heater up with the artificial flame in it. So back to that KD7QK.
QKU, let's go to Jessica, KF7UHK.
The flames, I put them sometimes on my giant TV set at Christmas time, because it just makes this place feel warm even though it's not warm. So but it kind of fills up the wall. Let's see, just going to mention the spring is coming. I know it is, I'm sure it is. I've heard it's coming, but I don't know if it's going to be here yet. And when it comes to Windows 11 upgrades, you know, I still use a landline here at the house. If you want to call me, you got to call me on the landline. So that's where I am in technology. So I'm not really jumping into changing my computers. If they're working still, I leave them alone, because I know if I upgrade them, then I have to go put my passwords in that automatically pop up whenever I turn on things, and I'll have to look up things, and this won't be a good. It won't be a good day when I upgrade. And I also have a Windows 7 computer here that I still use. So, but I do have, when it comes to hard drives, I have a 4 terabyte, a 3 terabyte, a 2 terabyte, and a half terabyte hard drives on different things. And one of the computers has 3 of those. And so I use those all the time, and store all my videos and stuff on it. So it's from up here in Everett. This is Jessica, KF7UHK.
KF7UHK, Jessica, thanks. Let's go to Port Angeles to Lee in 7KC.
Okay, very good. In 7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Time is limited. And so all I want to say to Bob is, you can look at it this way, Bob, 0.78 flushes per gallon. You can look at it that way. Okay, 7-3, enjoyed that as always. So we'll see you guys later. Back to you, Dave, in 7KC, Port Angeles.
7KC. And let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, I have one final thought as well, and that is water heaters and warranties. all have a rod inside them that will deteriorate before the rest of the water heater. And once it's gone, then the rest of the water heater corrodes and destroys itself. So they know exactly how long those things last. So if you have one that says it's good for 10 years, about 9.5 years you should think about replacing it. Back to that K9PQ.
9PQ. Let's go on down the list to Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Dave, I've seen heated clothing out there. I've seen socks where you plug batteries into it. I've seen a vest. I've seen a jacket. And although they didn't really have it back when I was doing my backpacking and camping days, I've often thought that would be a pretty cool thing now. You can climb into your sleeping bag and have batteries keeping your feet warm or something like that. Even a vest, that would be a big difference. Ron, good luck with the surgery on your hand. Let's see, the port wine. Yeah, I'm kind of more of a beer guy myself, but I have to say that beer doesn't spend much time hanging around the house. And let's see, artificial fire. I've got something like that as well. I'm not sure where my wife got it, but what mine has is like a tape, a film, if you will, which rolls around, propelled by a motor, and then there's a light bulb of some sort behind it to illuminate the flames. It looks kind of cool. I was surprised at how lifelike it looks. But I was also surprised at how little heat the thing actually put out. It's okay if you're close to it, but it's not likely going to warm the whole room. Just that's my thought anyway. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
7QO, and it's time to wrap up the net for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. This Saturday evening, we'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine, the SeaTac Repeater Association, for letting us use 147.08 for our voice communications for our video nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So again, on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7CYM, closing the net at 9 o'clock.